Imagine carrying a mirror everywhere you go. Not a mirror that reflects your face, a mirror that reflects other people's opinions. Every compliment makes you feel taller. Every criticism makes you feel smaller. Every judgment changes how you see yourself. At first, this may sound exhausting. Yet many people live exactly this way. Their mood rises and falls according to the approval of others. Their confidence depends on praise. Their direction changes whenever someone disagrees with them. Nearly 2,000 years ago, Marcus Aurelius warned himself about this trap. As Emperor of Rome, he was constantly surrounded by opinions. Some praised him, some criticized him, some admired him, others wished for his failure. And yet, in Meditations, Book 6, he repeatedly returns to a simple idea. Protect your character, because reputation belongs to others. Character belongs to you.
There is an old story about a monk who lived near the sea. Each day he walked along the cliffs overlooking the ocean. The villagers respected him, but they did not always understand him. One morning, a group of travelers praised the monk. "You are wise. You are kind. You are extraordinary." The monk smiled and continued walking. The next day, another group arrived. They mocked him. "You are foolish. You waste your life. You contribute nothing." Again, the monk smiled and continued walking. A young student who witnessed both encounters became confused. "Master, why did the praise not excite you? And why did the criticism not upset you?" The monk pointed toward the sea. The waves crashed against the rocks below. Then he asked, "Do the cliffs become taller when the ocean praises them?" The student shook his head. "Do the cliffs become smaller when the ocean strikes them?" Again, the student shook his head. The monk smiled. "Then why should I change because of passing voices?" The student stood silently. The lesson was simple. The cliffs remained themselves, regardless of what touched them. And perhaps true integrity means learning to do the same. Marcus Aurelius understood that people's opinions are constantly changing. The person who admires you today may criticize you tomorrow. The person who criticizes you today may admire you next year. Public approval is like weather. It shifts, it changes, it cannot be controlled. Yet many people spend their entire lives chasing it. Imagine trying to build a house on the surface of the ocean. No matter how carefully you build, the waves will never stop moving. Approval works the same way. If your identity depends on external praise, your foundation will always feel unstable. This does not mean ignoring feedback. Wisdom requires listening. Growth requires humility. But there is a difference between learning from others and surrendering your principles to them. There is another story told among monks. A craftsman spent decades carving beautiful statues from stone. One day, a visitor criticized his work. The craftsman listened carefully, then returned to carving. A second visitor praised him excessively. Again, he nodded politely and returned to carving.
When asked why he reacted the same way to both criticism and praise, he replied, "My task is to shape the stone. If I spend all my time reacting to the crowd, the work will never be finished." What a powerful lesson. Many of us are so focused on managing our image that we neglect our character. We worry about being seen as honest rather than becoming honest. We worry about appearing wise rather than pursuing wisdom. We worry about looking successful rather than living meaningfully. Marcus challenges us to reverse this. Focus on what is within your control. Your choices, your actions, your values, your integrity.
The Stoics believed that a person's true worth comes from their character. Not wealth, not status, not popularity, not reputation. Character is what remains when nobody is watching. Character is the decision you make when applause is absent. Character is choosing what is right, even when it is unpopular. And that is why integrity is so powerful. Because it cannot be given by others, and it cannot be taken away by them. The monk beside the sea understood this. The cliffs did not seek approval from the waves. They simply stood firm. Not because they were stubborn, but because they knew what they were. Perhaps this is the challenge Marcus offers us today. To stop measuring our value through the opinions of strangers. To stop allowing criticism to define us. To stop allowing praise to control us. And instead, to ask a deeper question. Am I living according to my principles? Because if the answer is yes, then the noise of the world becomes much less frightening. People will praise. People will criticize. People will misunderstand.
That is their nature. Your responsibility is something else entirely. To remain honest, to remain courageous, to remain kind, to remain true. The waves will continue crashing. The voices will continue speaking. But like the cliffs beside the sea, you can remain grounded in who you choose to be. If this reflection resonated with you, write below. What principle do you refuse to compromise, no matter what others think? Subscribe to Why We Think, and together we'll continue exploring timeless wisdom that helps us live with greater integrity, clarity, and inner strength.